we're gonna start with crossovers. And I just want you to start and get used to this and start getting comfortable with it, but really understanding that you have to have a strong offhand in the game of basketball if you're gonna succeed. So let's take a look at it. We're gonna start with our cross. Really focus on that beginning of just protecting the basketball. Here's our slow to crossover. But really, as players, we have to have the ability to have multiple speeds. And so I want you to start by having a couple slow dribbles and then 1 pound dribble. And every time I cross hard, I have to have the ability to have my hands active and protect the basketball. If I lose the ball, I drop the medicine ball, that should never interfere with my dribble, just like a defender's hand should never interfere with my dribble. That should never be an interference to your game. So here we go, slow to go. Always a couple slow, and then hard, right under that ball. That medicine ball is going to keep your crossover low and keep your crossover hard. But you got to pound through. Focus on power, focus on strength. You don't have to look at the ball. You can just focus on every single cross being just as hard as the cross before. Every single time. This shouldn't interfere with it. You can drop this, just don't lose the ball. That's your slow to go with that cross. Now that you've gotten used to the medicine ball, you've crossed hard while dribbling slow between, you're mixing up your paces. Now we're going to always add a pound before the cross. Anytime you work on your dribbling, you should have the ability to really pound the ball before any move. And so even though we're going to have a medicine ball in our hand, our emphasis right now is the strength of that pound every single time. So I'm always going to have a slow pound, and then I should be able to cross. And then slowly, I can take those slow dribbles out. Here we go. I can drop that as long as I don't lose the basketball. And once you've got that rhythm, now take out those slow dribbles. Everything's strong. Those are your pound dribbles right into those crossovers. Really, literally, as hard as you can, and then keep that pound right through. This medicine ball will make sure your cross remains low every time having to get underneath your own hand. And it's going to make sure your crossover is exactly where it needs to be in the game. In everything we're doing, we're still switching with the medicine ball. Everything in the start is all switch moves, which just simply means every move that I have always requires my hands to meet and be physical. And that's always going to represent defender's hands and being able to protect. So now that we've gotten our slow and our pound cross, now we got to get our double cross. And now this is just our ability to be able to cross and immediately bring it back. Here's your teaching points. I don't want to see any crosses that stay inside those angles. It's not enough to do a drill and just make a change. That's not what we're looking for. It's your job to hold yourself accountable and make sure your cross is hard, low, and even wide to get outside your angles. We'll talk a lot about that later, but right now, focus on the ability to be wide, low, and strong with every cross. Here we go. You can still relax in the beginning. Let's cross, bring it back. Keeping that strong, low, and wide. No hesitations, no extra dribbles. Just keep your focus. Don't look down if you don't need to. Right now, everything is just about your hands and your strength. That's your double cross. Get the right side and make sure you switch to your left. Now that we've worked a little bit on the details of your moves and on your cross, now I just want you to burn it out. I want you just to continuously cross that ball over, making sure we're strong and wide and low on every single move. The only difference is, obviously, we're throwing a medicine ball in here. If you drop it, don't lose that basketball. Here we go. Stay low, stay strong. You can lose a little bit, but don't lose your your focus. Keep that ball low. Do everything you can not to lose your dribble. Maintain at least that ball control on that cross. And try to maintain that speed. Low crosses, strong crosses. Strengthen your hands as a bonus. That's your continuous crossover with that medicine ball. Just like in any part of your training, if you are using a prop, the prop is there to represent the game. This represents the defender. It makes things more difficult, makes things more game-like. But if you really want to test yourself, don't only use this. After you've gotten through those crossovers, toss that medicine ball off. Now it's just you. Now let's just test to see if you're gaining some of that speed and some of that strength. So we're going to keep that same pattern. We worked on our ability to go slow to cross. We worked on our ability to go pound across. We've done double crosses, and then we burned it out. So all we're going to do now is create a pattern. You can mix it up. All 4 of those in one single drill with your crossovers. Here we go. As hard as you can. This is your chance to really explore that strength. Really pound that ball before every cross. Get that double cross. You probably don't even feel your hands anymore after all that med ball work. Then burn it out. Speed, low, strength, go until your hands are numb. That's what the medicine ball does for you. You may not even feel that anymore. Burn out those hands, and your handle is going to get tighter every single day. Now we're going to get into some moves that lead into a cross. And if we're going to talk about crossovers, you have to understand that there's 2 types of crossovers that have to be in your game. One would be a low cross. This is the common cross. And this is what you have to understand, is a lot of players like an inside out, and they think that it sells a crossover. I don't know about you, but a low cross and an inside out rarely look the same. If you want to have a move that sells a move, if you want to have a crossover fake, it's got to be a V dribble. That's the ability to cross and bring it back. This looks more like this. Now, if you're going to have an inside out move, that means that your cross, this is my inside out, your cross would be a high push cross. And so we're going to work on 2 separate types of crossovers today. But right now, we got to focus on 2 separate types of crossover fakes. So we're going to start with our V dribble. All I want you to focus on is, once again, this is our line. If the medicine ball is hanging in the middle of my body, I want to make sure that I get my V dribble to at least cross that line and get underneath my medicine ball. The lower I hold this, obviously the lower my dribble's got to be. And all we got to do then is cross right back underneath that ball. That's our accountability each and every time. Let's take a look. Always get underneath that medicine ball each and every time. That's your accountability. And you can start speeding it up. Just like everything else we're doing, your hands will start to lose feel of the ball. But as long as you keep the emphasis there, crossing underneath this medicine ball each and every move, you're holding yourself accountable to game-like results. Before we get to our inside out, right into our crossover, let's spend some time on your inside-out move, making sure that it's covering enough space and it's going to be realistic to the actual push cross. So right now, once again, this medicine ball is a great tool to be your accountability. Every single time I do my inside-out, I actually want to physically hit that medicine ball. The reason being is it's always going to guarantee that I'm getting across my plane right now. This isn't a bad inside-out, but right now an exaggeration covering enough space in covering more space is going to create more opportunities in the game. So right now, this is our breakdown. I really want you just to focus on hitting that medicine ball each and every time. That's your signal. That's your accountability. You're covering up space. Slowly soften up the contact. Always get that space. This will help you really master the movement of that inside-out move. Someone gets a piece of that ball, obviously another bonus to this type of work. Now let's get into our inside-out crossover. Still in our breakdown, still working this on your ball handling, but this still has to be your accountability. Use this for everything that is worth. And so for right now, if this is in the center of my body, I'm always able to protect. This is my proper position anyway. Never have my hands below my waist or at my side. But now I want that ball to cover that space, really getting over and under my medicine ball. That's your accountability each and every time. Then we'll cross over. Here we go. Over that plane. Keep my hand active. Be aware of what my offhand is doing. But never cut the corners. Always get over the top of that. Not about your speed as much as about your control. Everybody focuses on speed, speed, speed. And we'll get to plenty of that. But more importantly than you being fast is you being efficient. You being great with the move. So know what that accountability is for. That's your inside-out cross. Sometimes the smallest details can have the most value. And when we talk about catching and shooting, there's an obvious factor there. You have to actually have your hands ready to catch and shoot. And there's nothing more frustrating for a passer, for a player, for a coach, that when a player is not ready with his hands to catch and shoot. If their hands are below their waist, then they're not ready to catch and shoot. So right now, all we're going to do is guarantee that our partner's hands are up and ready. So when I make that pass, he's ready to catch and shoot the ball. And so all we really want to work on is a simple med ball to make sure that you're holding the ball up, you're aware of where your hands are, and then we can work a little bit on your timing and your catch and shoot game. Let's take a look. These are our hand-ready med ball drops. And really what we're going to focus on is obviously the little thing. Is if Bryce passes me the ball, I have to drop the med ball to catch and shoot. So it's going to make me just focus a little bit more on where my hands are when I shoot. But on top of that, it's going to make me think. And there's no excuse right now for me to have a brain lapse. So what some players may do is when Bryce throws the ball, I might throw the ball down, and now my hands are not ready. So I have to have the presence of mind to understand that all I got to do is open my hands up. So I'm just going to play with your head a little bit. I want you to keep your focus. I want you to catch and shoot. Let's take a look at the drill. I'm going to get one shot from the elbow, and then we'll slide, and we'll switch. Here we go. Slide with that ball. Be ready to catch and shoot. Come on, Bryce. Anytime he's got to be ready, just drop it straight down. We go slide, 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 catch. Good shooting. Good shooting. Here we go. Come on. Good. And that's just your simple, hand-ready med ball drops. There's not a whole lot of fancy to that. But you're going to be surprised about how much it makes you test your mind, test your hands, and make sure your player's hands, or you as a player, have your hands ready to shoot. We've now done elbow-to-elbow shooting with our hand-ready med ball drops. Now we're going to take it from elbow to wing. But you got to understand, I mean, this is elbow-to-elbow shooting is one of the oldest drills. I mean, it's been around forever. But I want to just give you a little bit more creativity. If you're going to do it, you might as well challenge yourself just a little bit more. So by picking up a medicine ball, let's get you down in your stance and your hands ready. let's work on your conditioning. Let's work on your legs. Let's work on your ability to focus, catch, and shoot at a higher level. Let's take a look. The challenge here is Bryce can pass anytime he wants. And if I just happen to get to the corner, he hasn't passed yet, it means I got to start sliding my way back up. I have to have my hands ready for any moment. Here we go. Good, come on, Bryce. Good, good, good. Coming back, coming back, coming back. There you go, Wade, be ready. Good shoot. Good, good, keep moving. Keep moving, quick. Good, good focus. Good focus. And those are your hand-ready med ball drops, anywhere in that elbow to wing range. Much like a weight vest that we'd be wearing on us when we run, a medicine ball is going to do that same thing. We're going to add 6 pounds to our body while carrying in our hands to make sure our hands are ready. Now what we're going to do is we're going to run the baseline. And so picking up this med ball and taking it with me, I'm going to have to keep my hands up. I'm going to make sure I'm here so when I finally get to that cone, when my partner passes me the ball, I can drop, catch, and shoot. So once again, the emphasis is our hands and hands being ready. The bonus is our athleticism, our speed, and dropping some weight off before we shoot. Let's take a look. Here you go, Bryce. Good, good, run that, run that. Here you go. Good, way to be ready. Here you go, good shooting. Good shooting. Get to that spot, get to that spot. Good, here we go. And that's your baseline run with those hand-ready med ball drops. Get your conditioning, make sure those hands are ready to catch and shoot.